We are live. What is going on, everybody? We have some amazing guests. We have Hurricane Sugar in the house. What is going on, guys? We got Jeff and Alex. What is going on, guys?
Hey,
we're so stoked to be here.
Totally.
We are excited, very excited to have you guys on board and hanging out with us. They just released a new single called The Grind. We're going to listen to that song tonight and hope that the YouTube gods have shined upon us and let us hear it through and through. Amazing song. I cannot wait to have everybody's feedback that's going to be joining. Totally fun. But you know what? We first got to talk a little bit about desserts. James, I'm not even, you're going to go last again. Did you guys, so I'm just going to talk to the guests first. Did you guys bring any desserts or anything that's snacky today for us so that we could talk about, then we can get talking to the chef?
Can I start first?
Go ahead, my friend.
I found out this crazy concept called Tasty Licks, where you're bringing rock music and desserts together on one podcast. And then I was sitting here thinking like, oh man, what could I do? And I live across the street from a park. There's a park across the street. And then I heard ding, 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 ding. Ice cream. There's an ice cream truck. Oh, shit. I'm going to go get an ice cream. And I went over there and I'll get here.
There we go. Here we go.
It takes you back to being a child again.
I got my favorite ice cream.
There we go.
There you go. Sundae cone with chocolate and nuts and vanilla ice cream.
Nice.
That's my favorite dessert. Clearly, I love to eat desserts. So it's like this the entire podcast.
There we go. And then it won't melt on you at all. It will not do that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
So, and then Alex, what did you bring, buddy?
Well, I think it's also worth noting that our band is called Hurricane Sugar, which is just perfect for this particular show.
Absolutely.
So I was going to bring, my restaurant makes a really amazing creme brulee. I love creme brulee. Then it doesn't travel very well. So I'm looking at the sad to-go container with like a slop of creme brulee in it. And I'm just like, I can't bring this. So instead, I went to Ralph's. And mango cream cake.
There you go.
That's awesome.
It was on sale for like $5. It looks pretty amazing if you ask me. I mean,
it does for $5. That definitely looks more than $5.
You can't. You can't beat that for $5.
Well, I mean, they were trying. They were like, "Please buy this. It goes bad tomorrow."
It's got like a yellow sticker on it. Like, please sell before this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, and as always, I can't even compare to the chef. I can't even compare. So I thought of Brandon, one of our past guests, and Dusty, and I thought that when I thought about them, I thought I will just bring an ingredient. I thought I'd bring a banana.
Ooh, banana
just
bread.
An ingredient, just a banana, not the banana pudding, just the banana.
That's not dessert, man.
Because
it's just a snack. It's just a snack. It's not really. It's not even whipped cream or nothing like that, or at least peanut butter or something.
It's just ingredient. It's an ingredient. I realize that it's an ingredient. So I thought about doing it, and next week I promise that I will bring something a little bit different. You just don't even know.
Just bake something like 2 days before the show, and then just you got it ready. Good to go.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I always say, and I always don't do it. Then I look in our pantry at the last minute, going, "What can I possibly make with any of the?" I have these. So just a little bit notes to you guys. I have a ton of kids, and if all the ingredients get eaten before I get a chance to even think about doing anything, so it's always like, sugar and more sugar. So all I had was sugar. All I had was a bag of sugar.
Right there. You have a dessert show, and you showed up with a freaking banana.
He's always like, "Oh, well, let the chef guy." I'm like, "Well, don't downplay what you got. I mean, make something like crazy good, or make something that's at least compared to what I'm doing."
I'm not trying to call you out, but you showed up with a freaking banana.
I did.
Like the guest kind of outshined you. He's got ice cream. He's got a cake.
You have to sell it.
You got a banana.
Food Network. You have to be like, I have here an unpeeled fruit sugar substitute, unmultiplied.
That I just, yeah, exactly. So, well, anyway, so I'm going to tell you now. You know why, and now you know why, and I'm going to show you why, because now we're going to go comparative to the guy that made what, and show me what you made, because I know what it is.
Well, I will add I worked at a fine dining restaurant where they did have creme brulee as well, and it is a great dessert. But people would always order it to go as well, and I'm like, how do you why? Like, what's the point? Sometimes they would just take the dish it came with, and like they're like, oh, I'll bring it back. And I'm like, I don't know if it ever came back or not, but it would just be just in a little to-go box with like just this mosh of like, custard and burnt sugar.
It would be freshly bruleed.
You
Yeah,
can't do creme brulee with a ramekin. You need a proper ramekin.
Yeah,
proper creme brulee. And then, secondly, it happens for a while. You glaze the sugar and it gets hard. By the time you get it home, it's soggy,
soft and mushy.
Yeah, it's like it ruins the whole experience of like cracking it with the spoon and like.
Now,
when
you're a bartender and they're giving away creme brulee at the end of the night, you're not going to say no.
Right. Oh yeah.
You would still eat it. You would still eat it.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Right.
We've all been desperate.
I did caramel popcorn.
Ooh!
I just made it like an hour ago.
So this isn't just caramel popcorn like you just go from he made it. He made caramel popcorn, drizzled caramel on top of it, and then added the salt. Yeah, that's why I brought a banana.
Don't try to make it out bigger than it is. He just melted some sugar in a pan and put some salt on it.
But it's a lot better than store-bought.
Yeah,
it is much better.
And it's a lot better than banana. It's a lot better than banana.
Hey, it's an ingredient. I brought an ingredient. If this banana would make, if it had the choice, it would be a choice of making it to be a banana pudding. And then other folks would be happy.
I brought for you today.
I brought the ingredient. Potential. That's what I brought. I brought a potential, but of a really great dessert that I didn't bring. So this is the questions that we always have to ask. Now that we know that you guys are into desserts, what is your favorite gig food? So when you're like, hey, I'm in the recording studio, or you're out and about ready to go tour, what is your go-to food that you guys go to on the road?
That's a good question. Go ahead, Alex.
I mean, unfortunately, it's probably not the smartest thing to eat, but I love Taco Bell. Can I say that? We're not.
You can say Taco Bell. You can say Taco Bell.
That one fast food place that serves Mexican food.
How dare you?
If I'm
American Mexican,
if I can get a Philly cheesesteak, though, that's what I'm going for. That's my favorite food.
That is a good food.
I have watched Alex eat many cheesesteaks. That actually is something I've noticed about you, Alex. When we go out to gigs, he's always like, "Oh, they have a Philly cheesesteak. Oh, I think I'll get that." He's always ordering the Philly cheesesteak.
I try them everywhere I go to try to find. I'm on the quest to find the best Philly cheesesteak.
I do the same thing. There's a couple places around here that are pretty legit, and they sell really good cheesesteaks.
There's a place
what
here
is
in
up,
LA
Nick?
that sells them.
The thing about LA is it's so diverse, and they have almost there's everything there. Literally, there's everything there. Yeah, it really is you can't go wrong with any food in LA, because everything is some guy brought his recipe from back east, and then now he's in LA selling
it. Always wanted to go to LA, and here he is, because he's been watching.
Right.
Now he has a restaurant here.
Right, exactly.
I've toured and traveled around the country and the world, and you go everywhere I've been. Every time I come back to, I'm like, oh, we're so lucky in LA because we really have everything. You know, you go to Italy, you find yourself eating the same shit over and over again.
Right.
You know, same thing. Like you go to Mexico, it's like, I love Mexico and I love Mexican food, but you know, basically it's the same 15 things over and over in different variations.
True.
And in LA, we have everything. We have an Asian culture here, a Mexican culture here. We have, name the culture, we have it here. So we're very lucky. The restaurants in LA are like the best.
Tell me where I can get real barbecue in LA, and I'll give you.
Well, Korean barbecue. You can get really good Korean barbecue in.
Listen, what he's talking about, though. He's from Atlanta.
He's from Hot Atlanta. Yes, I don't.
I want some guy with his F-150 parked on the side of the road with a smoker,
like 20-foot smoker,
smoking pork for 3 days, and giving me a plate for like $3, and it's like the greatest thing you've ever had.
Absolutely.
His wife's been making the sauce the same way for 36 years. It's a family recipe. He grew
I love
a hickory tree that he's smoking it with in his backyard.
See, that's the way to be. That is totally the way to be. I love it. Yeah, I'll tell you that I am a foodie, and so Arizona has because it's a big city. Phoenix is a big city. They have diversity, but not like LA. But you can't beat the Mexican here. You just it's just ingrained in the society here. Everything here, like if you go to Taco Bell, you'd be laughed at. It's just
right. It's the same thing in LA. And that's Alex said that, and I cringed. I'm like, oh god damn.
He said we were on the road.
From Georgia, aren't you?
Like, you are on the road. It is true. When you're on the road, you grab what you can. That is correct. When you are on the road, so not out of LA, you're on the road gigging. Absolutely, that's what we're looking for.
And when work,
I'll attest. I've been desperate at 2 a.m. and drunk and need something to eat, and have gone through the drive-thru at Taco Bell.
Gotta get fourth meal, dude.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
right.
There was a funny time when Jeff and I first started playing in a band together, where like every time he would call me, I would be in a fast food drive-thru.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Alex, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in the drive-thru. Hold on. Yeah, I'll have a number 2 and a number 6 and a I'm like, yeah, are you in the drive-thru again?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's crazy. We eat, like, I have kids and they like Taco Bell, and so yeah, we try to steer them away from it, but they just like it. You know, they're like, hey, I want one of those beanie cheesy roll up things, and I'm like, how could you eat it? But whatever, right?
Right. Well, because you have the Mexican place down the street that like knows how to cook beans and rice properly.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing is we have something called Filiberto's, and that's exactly the case. It's fast food Mexican, and it was made by, some lady in the back who's Nana, and she's been cooking burritos all of her life and making tortillas and salsa. It's amazing good food. But
yeah, they got food trucks that are here that people will line up at. Like they're like, oh, do you go to this place on Friday, Saturday night? And it's literally packed like to the 9, like lines.
Where are you at, James?
I'm in West Florida, West Coast Florida.
Okay.
I'm originally from Garden Grove, California.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, everybody has a connection here to LA somehow.
Got it. Yeah.
Because Nicole used to live in LA for probably like 20 years. So now I think she's going to be moving back. So in LA is just one of those towns that just has so much going on for it. I love going to LA. I think my favorite thing to do there, and I always tell everybody the same thing when they're going to LA, do La Brea tar pits. I don't know why I just have a thing for just.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I absolutely love going to that place. I went. It has good memories because my dad's a science teacher, so I was like, "Hey, if you go in there, you just gotta go to La Brea. It's actually an Encino Man.
True.
I remember going
Pauly
there.
Shore was there.
I went there on a field trip at my school when I was in elementary school. We went to the La Brea Tar Pits, and I was like, wow, the La Brea Tar Pits, like it's a real tar pit, and they, have dinosaurs and stuff. And then I saw like an old pair of Nikes floating in the tar pit, and I'm like, what?
And some Nikes.
There were a
And
pair
the
of
Nikes.
shoes in there. So it was like dinosaurs. And I'm trying to imagine the old, Mesozoic time, and there's a freaking pair of Nikes floating in the tar.
Time traveling.
The people get stuck in it now too.
yeah, even Nikes can't survive the tar pit.
The tar pits, they've got everybody.
Well, little do
you don't have to worry about asphalt around here.
That's all that was left of what fell in.
That's right. Right. Just the guy, he's on the bottom. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys have also done something amazing. So you guys are just released a single today. So the single called "The Grind." Really, I what do you think, James? I'll let you go ahead and have your description of what you thought of the Grind today.
I think I listened to it a good 10 times before the stream. It's really good.
Awesome.
It is really good. And I'm going to say this about I really like the Wretched Gourmet. I was like, oh yeah, this is a really great song. Totally great song. And then today was a different song. Still has some really good driving guitar, which absolutely love. I love his guitar playing. But I really love the vocals in this. And I like the storytelling that are in both, because you can just be like, holy moly, so for people that don't know, The Grind is, and you guys can describe it to me. What is your guys' when you guys were writing it? I can have my idea is some guy work a day job, and it's like a song about corporate America, and the whole thing that I live every day is corporate America because I work for corporate America. So, and then some of the references to like Greek mythology, where it's the same guy pushing the same boulder up the same hill every single day, and you only die at the end. That's the end result is you die at the end. That's what.
We're just kind of like I guess giving up or something like that. If you're working hard at something, giving up that something or you whatever, and you kind of just go back down to where you began. You know what I'm saying, and starting over or whatever.
Right. But never getting there, never really arriving. You just never really get what you want. You're like, everything's expensive. You can't get your dreams. You can't even buy your own dreams because you never have enough money to go buy them. So that's kind of what I thought. But what were your guys' thoughts when you guys were making this?
So, I mean, I think that it's like Warren Buffett or somebody that says like, you'll never get wealthy by working a job. You can get rich, you can be comfortable, but you'll never become wealthy by working, and not even just financially, but just sort of like a sense of fulfillment. Some people are really lucky that they manage to find jobs that they feel fulfilled by and get them where they want to be. But I think that a lot of people have a grind, a daily grind that they go to, whether it's a job or chores or whatever it is, and it can really like be oppressive to just feel like you're just spinning wheels forever and never getting anywhere. And so the Greek myth of Sisyphus is about a guy who he's not a great guy during his life, and he tries to swindle his way out of being taken to the underworld. And so when Hades finds out, he tasks him with this eternal job that he just has to do forever. And at first, it's the physical labor of it that's hard for him. It's like physically having to push this boulder up this hill is what's difficult. And then as he gets used to that, it becomes the repetitiveness of it that gets to him. And in the story, the moral of the story is he learns to like live with it. Like he finds the joy in it's about the journey, not the destination kind of thing. And so my take is kind of like, well, screw that. Like, don't succumb to it. Get out there and follow your dreams. Do what you really want to be doing, you know, break free and go fly, you know, do what you want to do. I mean, it personally applies to me as a musician. I love my job. I like bartending, but it's not what I really want to be doing.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Isn't that like the everything? So me and James can really talk to that too, because James is doing what you want to do. I mean, you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, I think there's everybody's always got to want something more, you know what I'm saying, than what they got. I mean, I would
Right.
always kind of go away from, I mean, not go away, but like try something more than just where I'm at and kind of just be planted where I'm at and just stay there. You know, kind of just broaden your horizon, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, right.
In the song too, I sort of play with the perspective of the singer. So during the verses of the songs, I'm sort of talking to who I'm expressing these feelings to. Hey, you know, you do this, you do that, you should not do that. And then during the choruses of the songs, it says like, if you keep up the pace, then you'll get to taste the holy bread. You know, we wish you the best. You know, at least you'll get to rest when you're dead. That's like the people you're working for, sort of tongue in cheek, telling you like, you're doing a great job. Just keep working at it, and eventually you'll get to share a piece of the pie with us. You know,
maybe you'll make partner someday.
Yeah, if you just keep working hard, you'll get there. Don't give up. So.
I totally got that. So when I was actually talking to my sister Nicole about the song, I said, I really like the lyrics in this. And I said, and it's a story. And the Wretched Gourmet is the same type, where there's a story involved. It's
Right.
a twist, because the verses, and again, you sing it in a way that sounds like it's the sirens. To me, it was like the sirens that are just sitting there. Come break your, you know, because the sirens are also the people that are telling you to the ship. You know, back in the day, they were telling people to go and, you know, look over here, it's beautiful, come listen to this music, and then they shipwreck, right? That's the whole story with the sirens. And that you can totally get that with this verse, because it's like this subtle, you know, this chorus of different, and you can definitely tell the main guy they're talking to this main guy who's the singer, who is the worker, telling him it's going to be okay. It's just break your stuff. We're right here for you. And I'm like, totally got it. Yeah, I love that kind of amazingly good song. Right.
Thanks.
And then, so you guys were, now this is a good question. James, go ahead and ask a question. I'm asking all the questions.
I was actually just going to see how where you came up with the name of the band, Hurricane Sugar.
So
we agonized for months. Dude, band names are the toughest thing ever. Because for one, anything cool that you can come up with is already taken.
Yeah.
And then two, to get everyone to agree on what's cool and what's a good idea is another obstacle you have to overcome.
Yeah,
you know, like, I love that name. The other guy's like, that name is terrible. I don't want to be associated with that name. But you know, Alex made a good point at the end of it. You know, at the end of the day, the name doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's all about the work that you put out. You know, because you and I, we can go through some bands that we love that have terrible names. That, like, if you were in a band, you would never pick that name. And Dave Grohl's like he says it, like Foo Fighters. Like, what a terrible name. But it doesn't matter now, because we know what Foo Fighters is, and we like their songs, and we have no problem telling our friends to go see Foo Fighters.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a Rorschach. I mean, your name it has no implied. I mean, unless your name is like something really like, I don't even know, like okay go, that just like, I don't know, it has an implied just meaning of its own. Something more abstract like the Queens of the Stone Age, it has no inherent value, and then you attach it to the music. and it becomes.
Oh yeah.
And then it becomes cool. It's like, so we kind of focused on, eventually somebody said Hurricane Sugar,
Me.
and yeah, you, and Josh liked it and Don liked it, and I didn't really like it at first, but at the when we were recording music and we were trying to gather an online presence and put our stuff out there, and what are we have to eventually you have to make a decision, and you have to pick a freaking name. And so we did that, and then I started sending texts out to my friends and like, hey, what do you think of this name? And most of them said, hey, that sounds pretty cool. So we just went with that, and now the name will be associated with the content that we put out, and so the name really doesn't matter,
right? And like when you go to a show, it's like, say you're going to see this one band that's really popular or whatever, and you're like, oh, we got this opening band, Hurricane Sugar, and you're like, Hurricane Sugar, like what kind of band is that? And then like obviously their first impression is what you come out and play, and they're like, oh my god, like they're gonna go home and look up anything about you guys, and buy your stuff and whatnot. What I'm saying, some of the greatest stuff that you ever hear, or something like that. Something new that is just fresh in their mind. So that's, like I said, the music sets it apart from the actual name, like you said.
I hear bands like Panic at the Disco, and it's like, where the fuck did that come from? What the hell does that mean? It doesn't matter. But now you say that name, and I know what that means now. It comes after, It's like the name comes, people hear the name, but then they hear the work, and then they associate the work to the name, and that's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, totally.
I
still think it's a cool name. I still think it's a cool name.
There's some cool names out there. One of my favorite bands, a local band that lives around here, is named Fart Barf. They really Fart Barf. It's fucking rad. And they won an award for being like best name. So,
Okay, you guys could be that. You guys could be that. I would be like, and today we're having Fart Barf on.
Fart Barf, dude. What a good name.
That's an awesome name. That's definitely unique.
I got a search. I got it ready to go. I'm going to listen to it later on.
See? Look. Yeah. So it works.
I'm intrigued. You've intrigued me.
That is intriguing.
Fart Barf.
Yeah. Shit. I just ruined this whole promo thing. Now it's going to be all about Fart Barf.
No, it's going to be about, so we're talking the grind. We're talking the grind. So this is the interesting thing about the song, is that your guys' guitar is, just amazing. And the way that the guitar sounds and the drums that go along with it is very industrial to me. Like, it is a working type of song. Like, it's driving. It has like this behind, and then even at the very end, you have that kind of like that lead off is like some working tools and stuff. Right. And so I just like that whole fact that
that's the guy working on the railroad. That's the rail. It's like the railroad guy, right? His job never freaking ends. Dude shows up and just is being in those freaking railroad things, forever.
So the funny thing about that is that those are running throughout the song, subliminal.
Oh,
so
cool.
You can't really hear them, but they're there. Those little ping, tong, like they're on time with the drums running throughout almost the entire song, just to create this like subconscious sense of this constant monotonous sound that's just happening underneath everything. And it's funny because I had that idea from like the very inception of the song, but I was like ashamed to ask the producer to do it. I was like, hey, I know this is gonna sound like really stupid, but like, can you maybe try this thing? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, we can try that. That sounds awesome. But I was like super like, I don't know, embarrassed.
Like in our head, it sounds like that, and then you're like, but you know what? It works for that song. It totally works for that song, and I totally get it. because I think that it adds value to what the song is trying to tell you. Because I think that I mean, as lyricists, as musicians, that's what we do, right? It's creative, and being a composer, that's what you're trying to get, is you're trying to convey a feeling in a song to your audience about something, and that is just the simple, those little minute details are the reasons why great songs are created, and that's what makes them so great, is these little minute details in the guitar riff and the drum, in the drum pieces, the rhythm. It's very telling a story, and I think that that's exactly what you guys have done here.
And even ideas like that you think it's like, oh, it's stupid or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, now it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the song now. It's like, if you've never said that or whatever, you never thought about saying it, it would never been added. So, I mean,
absolutely love it. And I love the story behind it too. I love that.
It's the kind of stuff that I talk about in my favorite bands. I'm like, oh, do you hear that little detail in there?
Yeah. That's like repetitive or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was like. I was going with the main riff and so I'm a guitarist. So I'm not that I don't like drums, and I love, and bass. I love that stuff because you have to have it. It keeps time. But I'm listening to the guitar riffs, and he has a lot of the same guitar riffs, but it's repetitive in some ways, in the way that he's just going up and down the neck of the guitar, especially when he's like sitting there doing the slides. I'm just like, holy moly, that is so good. It sounds like somebody just, just somebody whipping somebody. That's what I kept thinking. It looks like that whipping. Because I can totally see him doing, because that's what that is. I know what the motion is, and it's almost like it's like a whip. Totally great. Totally great.
Playing those, it's again that like meow meow. It's very machine like sounds,
Yeah. Hey,
like
Dan.
Shutting down or starting up, or
Yeah, very cool.
Because I totally. Me as a songwriter is the lyrics were the last thing that happened with this song. I always write all the music first, and we kind of jam that, and then I kind of start figuring out a melody, and then I kind of go, okay, what is this song saying? What is the music saying? What's the mood? What is the and I kind of try to read the meaning in what the music is trying to say, and then apply lyrics that match the tone of the song.
Right.
Oh, very cool. So, you know who also said something? We had another musician that said the same thing, that they're just like, their lyrics are the last thing that they're writing. Like they have to match with the music, and that's really interesting, because some people are like reverse, like that. We had a folk band, and they were like, the lyrics are our main thing, and then we make the music around the lyrics because it's poetry, and then they write the music to go with the poetry. That's really cool.
I've heard of some bands that do that. They'll send like their drum tracks, or they'll send their bass tracks or whatever, and they'll be like, well, I'll make lyrics or whatever out of that, or something around that.
Yeah, very ultra cool. So, and then Jeff here is what now you're part of this a big, I think the percussion piece is like one of the major pieces. It's the underlying tone of a song. And that's why drummers are so very, very important, because they keep and drive the entire song. What was it like for you when you were creating this song?
Well, it was like any other time I'm creating a song, where I listen to my guitar player's riff, and usually I'll listen to something, let them play it through at once, and automatically out of nowhere, I'll get this feeling, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And that's kind of what I always do, is I let my feelings just tell me what is appropriate to play. And my feelings have been educated by all the music that I've listened to beforehand, and so it's vibes, right? I get a vibe. I hear a riff and I get a vibe, and then I kind of just instinctively go for something. And then most of the time people say it's cool. Sometimes they're like, no, that sucks, try something else. But yeah, it's just try to get a groove, and also I try not to overplay. I try to play to the song and stuff like that, which is a hard skill to do as a drummer. You know, as a drummer, I'd love to play a fill every little chance I can, but it's not always appropriate. And so Alex and I have this chemistry right from the get-go where, you know, he kind of latches on to the fills that I choose and feels like, oh, that was an appropriate, you know, it's kind of comes down to like, was that appropriate or not? Does that feel right or not? And so you got to get the whole band to agree with what you're doing. And it's gone effortlessly so far. So.
That's awesome.
But I play heavy, and I try to get some kind of dynamic in there as well.
Now, how long have you been playing drums?
I was a late bloomer. I didn't start playing until I was till I could afford to get my own job and buy the drums on my own, because I didn't have parents. I came from a single mother who couldn't afford anything, and so I didn't get my first drum set till I was 18.
Oh wow!
But that's not to say what I had done beforehand is I sat on my couch and pretended to play drums to all my favorite records, and then by the time I got a drum set, I was able to just sit down and play because I'd already done all the practice. I blew everybody away. They're like, "How the hell did you play drums right away? This is the first time you sat at a kit." And it's because I pretended at first.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome.
How long have you been playing, Alex?
Yep, that's what I was going to ask.
So I'm kind of the opposite because I came from a musical. I mean, we were also very poor, but I grew up in a musical family. Of both of my parents were musicians, so there were always just instruments around the house. And my parents, even when I was a little kid, they owned a music venue that bands would come and play at. And
oh wow!
I think I started playing drums. Were my first instrument actually. And I think I started playing drums at about 6 or 7. My dad started kind of teaching me how to do basic beats and stuff. And then I started playing guitar around 12, 13. I had my dad worked in a music store, and there was a guy there who gave lessons. And I think I had 1 or 2 formal lessons. And then I just taught myself how to play. And I would ask my mom, I'd go, "Hey, how do you play this chord right here?" Or, "Hey, Dad, how do you play this? How do I strum this right?" And, I kind of always had that resource in my parents.
Yeah. Yeah, you would need lessons like that from anywhere else. But yeah, because you're around that.
Yep.
So I'm going to say that, and I know that my mom is probably watching this right now. She told me I'm going to give you guitar. She's an amazing guitarist, absolutely amazing guitarist. She's Nicole's mom, of course, as well as my mom. And she's an awesome guitarist.
That's how it works, brothers and sisters.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
I was like, hey, wait a second, let me preface this. Yeah, that's how that works. So anyway, let me tell you that she said, I'm going to give you a guitar teacher. So she's this excellent guitar teacher. She's a chorus teacher. She's just like, I can't teach you because I would lose patience because I think
dynamic. It's a different dynamic. There's a difference between your parent and a teacher. The teachers are something else. And yes, you will learn lots of things from your parents, but it's a different relationship from a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she recognized that, and it was probably a good thing for you.
It turned out to be. It turned out to be because that's exactly where you start. So then I even asked her the other day. I was like, I'm trying to pick up guitar again, do more music theory, because I know how to play songs. I wanted to really dive deeper into music theory and start learning why is all this. I know quite a bit, but I want to get more deeper into music theory. And she's like, "Hey, I'll get you a book." And I'm like, "But you're like the resource. Like you went to college for this." And she's just, I think that when you have expectations maybe for your kids that they'll just pick it up, and when they don't, then you get frustrated. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm glad but she's always been very helpful, and I think always and when you have musician family members, they're very helpful with inspiring you to keep going because of the fact that they're musicians. They don't, and there's no age for it. There's just, you pick up a guitar at any point, to pick up a drum whenever you can, and start playing. And music is about feelings, and whether you're the best guitarist or the best drummer in the world or the best vocalist, it doesn't matter. It's about creating something. And I think that's what you guys did here. Is
Cool.
The Grind is just an absolutely amazingly good composition of work. And I think you guys can be very proud of it, to be honest with you, because of the fact that what went into it. And I love the storyline that you guys, you had this industrial thought. You guys wrote these, and then you wrote the lyrics, but the lyrics are just as good as the riffs and the drums. I mean, to be able to say, hey, I want to hear, because to be able to put the lyrics, not just the lyrics, but then also have that second part of the chorus coming in that's completely different. It's not just a chorus, it's actually a different voice, if you call it that.
That's
right?
like the bosses, right, talking to you.
Right.
Keep it on taste, then you get to taste the holy bread.
Right.
First, it's like working, and then it's like that boss selling you that BS to just keep you producing.
Yeah.
So again, like, because the music came first, that part is a huge dynamic shift musically too. It goes from these like really stabby staccato riffs and chords that are just like hitting really aggressively to like more of a wash. It's these big chords that are holding out, and it creates like a totally different ambiance. And so as I'm writing the lyrics, I wanted to mimic that perspective change, the way that the music sort of art, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it fundamentally shifts. And so I wanted the perspective to shift to match the way that the music changed.
Oh, absolutely. And excellent. And you guys did the same thing with the Wretched Chef, where you guys had different shifts in the music, and the rhythm even changes. The drum, how fast everything changes in that song, and then it goes back. It's just really phenomenally good. I mean, it's very musically sound. And I love things like that because it's different. It's not just the same beat throughout the entire. It's not the same. It definitely double time, and then you slow it. And then you slow it down. Even you guys even had blues riffs in there. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's like everything's going along, and then you pull the rug out from under you, and everything changes. That was the goal of it. Pull the rug out. Like, oh, you think it's over here, and then boom, and nope, it's over there now. And that was cool. That was like our first recording. We just did that live in the studio. That was like when we first, Alex and I and the rest of the band first got together. We went into the studio in Hollywood and just recorded it live. That's Wretched Gourmet that you heard. And so now we finally have this properly recorded release that we're doing. We have 3 more songs that we're going to be coming out with over the next.
That's what. Yeah. So tell us about that. So you guys have an album that you guys are working on. This is part of a single of albums, and you guys are just going to release more songs on top of that. Now, is that Wretched Chef part of this, or is this a completely different project?
It's a completely different project. That was kind of like the initial, here we are. We got a band together, and we did a live recording of one song. And then after that, we went into the studio and recorded some real songs. And we made a video for each song as well. So we're going to be releasing a song. This song we released, The Grind, actually yesterday. In a couple of weeks, we'll be releasing the video. And then after that, we've got 3 other songs that we'll be doing song video.
Yeah, the music video for The Grind was really fun because the concept of the video is that it's the main actress that we hired is a server, and one of my friends that's in another great LA band called the Oil Barons, his name's Lou. We were like, dude, just be the shittiest restaurant guest you can ever be. And so he's just like in a booth, like all like spread out, and like he keeps yelling at her and stuff and running her back.
He pushes the fork off the table, like, pick it up. He's like the worst customer you can have.
Food, like, and he's just, and then we play the role of like, she keeps looking at him and like imagining herself like killing him, because I think everybody in the service industry has had that one guest that they're just like thinking bad thoughts about.
Yeah.
And, so we, the band members, kind of personify her inner thoughts of like wanting to like do
demons.
stuff with this guy. So we're like messing with him, and it's fun. It's going to be a really fun video.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. So we're gonna try. Hopefully, the YouTube gods are gonna stick with us here. But we're going to try and play the track itself, and it's on YouTube right now. So I'm going to share my screen, and let me pick a. Oh, Chrome tab, here it is. There it is.
Wow, Tasty Licks.
There's our stuff. But first we have to get through this.
Oh, there's a commercial.
Oh, always.
Feel the blood on her face.
Is it playing?
Nope. There we go. Maybe.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it, but that doesn't mean it's not playing.
Can you guys hear it?
No.
No. Do you hear it?
I can hear it.
Oh, okay.
But it's not doing it, is it? You guys can't hear it at all, can you?
No.
It's blazing in my headphones. I'm like, okay, great.
The grind.
It looks really good. Hang on one second. You know what? I've never had to share this. So that's the reason why I'm like, hey, how do we do this? Wait a second here. Sorry, guys.
It's probably related to the audio for the room here.
That's what I was looking at, and it doesn't look like he wants to. It doesn't look like, because I had this one thing where it allowed me to put down the audio, but I'm looking.
Well, it's a cool image.
It is a really cool image, and it was blaring in my headphones. So how crazy is that? Now it's just escaping. Sorry, guys. I have never had that. I usually I bring the videos usually in, and then I can play these just fine. But
no problem.
Of course, I've never had to play a YouTube video. So maybe that's the whole thing, is it doesn't let you do it.
Would the headphones matter if they're plugged in, or what? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it should have just played it. But yeah, how weird. Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit. I'll figure this out, and hopefully I can get this back on. But anyway, so go ahead, James. I'm sure you have some questions. And
I was gonna say, I was trying to figure out while listening to the song, I was actually trying to figure out what other bands I guess you can kind of compare yourselves with, or your sound.
Well, we want to ask you that question. What do you sound like? We can tell you our heroes. We can tell you our heroes, but like, what do you think it kind of vibes with?
Okay, so I'm going to go Led Zeppelin, a little bit of Led Zeppelin in there, because I thought that your first song had a little bit of that Led Zeppelin sound to it, to me, and maybe even this song a little bit said some of that 70s music, maybe even some Sabbath, and I think even Leonard Skinner came out to mind. And then I also heard some 90s grunge type of stuff in there, some of the lyrics, but I heard blues riffs. I heard blues riff, especially on the Wretched Chef, like his solo part. I'm like, the very end, there's like a blues riff on it.
Sure.
I'm like, holy moly. Yeah. So definitely some, I thought like Leonard Skinner, like Southern rock, but also meets some of that like 70s rock, like Sabbath and Cream and some of those folks, with this indie sound that is still currently going on for rock. That was what kind of like a hodgepodge.
All right, James, what do you think?
I was gonna lean towards kind of like the Sabbath kind of area too, or Led Zeppelin. Actually more like Led Zeppelin type style. If I was gonna go back to like classic rock. Newer. If I was gonna go like newer like rock, maybe that was a band. Because I was trying to, I'm like, man, what does that sound like? And a few bands that kind of came to mind was a band called Dinosaur Pileup, and then there's another.
I know that band.
Yeah.
They got that. I'm
yeah.
always
There's
on
just like that. Yeah. I was gonna say another one. I forgot the other one, but it's maybe like a Volbeat or something like that. I mean, it's more just like that stuff that just pops out. I mean, I can't think of any more like new age bands like right now off the top of my head, but it just hits so hard. Like you listening in the car or listening to headphones, it's something that you just always want to listen to, just rock out to.
Wow. I find it interesting because it's always there's always a huge separation between like what we were doing when we created this and like some of the stuff that we were going for, and then when people listen to it afterwards, that they have their own. Like you guys are saying Led Zeppelin and Volbeat and these bands, and none of that was in the conversation when we made this, which is awesome. I mean, some of the tones and stuff we were going for were like Queens of the Stone Age, and they're definitely.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's like, I heard you guys play a cover of that. I heard you guys play a cover of Queens, and that's another band that I got into.
Band, we're doing a gig this weekend where we're gonna be. We're just gonna do a whole set of Queens of the Stone Age. We're gonna do a tribute to the Stone Age on Saturday.
Songs of the Deaf was like the first album I got of them. And I literally listened to that over and over.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I just sent you an email, Andy, with just a wave file of the song. I don't know if that helps.
Oh, cool. That would be that's awesome, man. That would be. So I would definitely want to get to it.
Damn, Alex.
He's on it. So I'm just going to let you know that I did ask. I said, hey, I've never had to do the YouTube thing. And what do you think? I have asked several people, and they're like, now I had a friend that was able, I don't see anything in there that tells me that. But what I'll do is I'll download this.
I don't think it'll be a problem, honestly.
No, I don't think so.
YouTube typically doesn't pull a video completely unless the artist has specifically
said not to,
requested that it just be blocked. Most artists, it'll just demonetize.
Right. Very cool. So yeah, I'll get this. I'm working on the.
Yeah, while we're doing this, I might as well eat the rest of my ice cream.
Yeah, I'm just.
I was gonna say, you already eat the ice cream already.
It's just sitting here. I didn't bring a fork. Dude,
take a bite of the cake. Alex, take a bite of the cake.
I gotta get a fork.
No.
You want me to just bite into it?
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
Just go. Bam it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
It's got to be an MP4.
Let the record show I haven't had dinner yet. I'm breaking all the rules.
So it's got to be an MP4 format. So I'm going to have to. Oh, darn it! I'll have to share this with I've shared part of the music. The cool thing about it is, and this is the weirdest part about Spotify / now and Instagram. So Spotify gets it, now Instagram has it, and so did TikTok. So I made you guys a video already. Yeah, I made a TikTok video of you guys already. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but yeah. Already made a TikTok video of you guys. So we'll try it again here. It was speaking and talking, and it's let's see if we can get the audio to work this time. There's no audio settings in this thing. That's what stinks. I think it's just a screen.
You son of a bitch.
That actress there in the picture was such a good sport because splatter her face with fake blood like 12
times.
Oh, that's crazy.
She had to go get changed. She had to put a new shirt on each time.
Really? That's crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's just going to let me view it, isn't it? That's all it's going to do. See if you guys can hear this. Can you guys hear it? Nothing.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to...
Could I play it? I mean, I don't know how well it's going to sound on my phone. I have a phone nearby.
Yeah, why don't you do that really quick? Do that really quick. That's all I can... I don't know why this is not allowing the sound to go through. I don't understand.
Here, I got it.
It's whatever.
Somebody's been you got cake all over your face.
We're gonna go back to like. Is there a tape player out there somewhere?
Okay, I'm not on camera. I can bite into this more.
You got it. What have you been doing off camera, bro? We're trying to
load the camera. He's just like,
yeah. As soon as the camera went away, he's like,
He's like, okay, I can figure it out. He's like, stuff right here, and I'm like,
score me.
I have not been eating cake.
I haven't eaten all day.
Does that sound like anything?
Yes, that sounds... Well, it sounds like you can hear it.
Yeah.
But it's... Yeah.
No, it's all good. Hopefully, this will entice people to go listen to it on their own.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Just anywhere you stream music.
If you're watching, yeah.
You gotta be a freaking moron not to be able to find the song that you want to hear these days. I mean, if you can't figure out how to listen to a song, then you got problems, or you're a really old grandpa.
Right, exactly.
It's a lot better when it's like on a show. It's like, oh, we're gonna play a song for you,
and then it doesn't happen. Yeah, video. File. Let me go do this video file.
Yeah, it's like all the bands that want to be like, you could catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, YouTube, this and that. It's like why do we have to keep telling people where to find music? Like, if they haven't figured out how to listen to freak music yet, then they're a fucking moron. Like, I don't need to tell you to go to Spotify to listen to our song. Like, you just search Hurricane Sugar and you'll find it. I'm so sick of telling people.
I so figured out how to do it. Okay.
Oh, look at it.
I'm an IT guy, and I figure this stuff out. I'm like, I am bound and determined there's a setting in here. Okay, you guys ready to go?
No, let's go. Fingers crossed.
Hit that intro. Not boop boop boop. You got to hit that snare in the beginning.
Before you start, you can eat your cake now.
Honey cane sugar.
You just working on the railroad.
You know, I think. Do you have echo cancellation on?
You wake up on time. Program in your mind. You turn the wheel, good little cog. You break your back, bow down to gods, and you don't care. 'Cause you're getting paid. Can't take a break, even to sleep. 'Cause there's a price to have a dream that you can't afford. And this is what you made.
This is what you made.
For your time. Oh, you are slave to the grind. If you keep up the pace,
Sorry, I can't help it there, John.
this holy bread. And we wish you the best. At least you'll get to rest when you're dead. You think that you're free. You know it. You keep up the pace, and you'll get to taste this holy bread. And we wish you the best, at least you'll get to rest when you're dead. Now you're almost there, and we think we've been fair to give you a chance. Can we convince you it's fun? Come on, just have one last dance.
There's that.
Yeah. That poor guy has to work the railroad line.
You should have been
Love
there
it.
when we were putting those sound effects in and spending like 2 hours. Like, you know, that one's just a little too tinny. Can we?
It's like 3 a.m. in Hollywood. Like
Every
been there
tiny
for 12
detail
hours.
with
Like, we
the-
need to tune that down.
There you go.
The shit you agonize
And the
over.
commercial.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
amazing,
it's funny,
guys.
that
That's
video that
amazing. That's an amazing song. I just absolutely love it, and it's so driving. And the vocals are really good and clean. I almost was like, I think your voice sounds a little bit Bon Jovi with a little bit of
There you go.
you know what I'm saying?
I'll
It
Yeah,
has
yeah,
that. It does. It has that
Right.
Bon Jovi-esque type of
Yeah.
sound to it. I was like, hey, yep, absolutely. I was like, he's a cover band for Bon Jovi.
Give us some,
Now you
Alex.
can totally tell where my genre of music is from, because I'm an 80s kid, so I grew up with the hair band metal stuff, and I can play most of those songs. Good times. So I know that we are right at the hour, so I wanted to thank you guys very much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
It was a blast, man. We will definitely keeping tabs in. For everybody out there, Tasty Licks has a Spotify playlist, and they are now on it. It's a Spotify playlist for all the guests that ever come on. And this is episode 10. This is,
We're stoked to be
for
a
me,
part
this
of
is
it.
so you guys are part of, a milestone for us. It's,
Oh yeah.
it's not a huge milestone. It's 10th episode, but we're 10th episode in. I mean, this is a milestone for us. This is
Hey,
cool.
it's a nice round number. I like it.
Yeah,
It
like
is.
And you brought a banana to the 10th
It's
episode.
better than the
Got it.
7th
I
episode.
brought a banana to the gunfight, to the dessert fight. Do you know what though? I try to be funny. That's the big thing there. It's just be funny, because I can't compete with this man. This man's a professional chef. He's awesome. But I'm going to tell you that you're going to see more of this type of thing in the future. Next week. I'm not even going to tell you. It's not going to be a banana. It's going to be something else. But it's going to be a little bit more harder. I'm going to
Does
actually
it have
put
sugar
some effort.
content? Does
It's going to have sugar content. That's the whole
all
thing.
of your
That's-
banana-related content here on
That's
Tasty
right.
Licks.
We're going to use that. That'll be the intro. All the banana content you can handle.
Oh boy, we're gonna get a whole different audience that
You
you
get the
didn't
wrong
want.
idea about this show.
The banana
Absolutely.
fans.
If you're a banana fan, you will love Andy and Tasty Licks.
Dangerous phrasing.
Absolutely. So guys, thank you guys very much for coming on. Do you guys have any last thoughts? What's you guys can catch them on Spotify. What else? Where else you guys are on social media?
Dude,
wise?
everywhere. This is what we just
IG,
got talking about.
Instagrams, YouTube.
Just
Apple,
look for it. If you
Just
can't
Google.
figure out how to find a band that
Figure
you
it
like,
out.
fucking moron.
Figure it out.
Google,
Absolutely is right.
part
So
of the
go.
name
No,
for me
there's a
is
name.
SEO. So Google the name, and we're the first thing that comes up.
There you go.
Oh,
And
like,
as you will find it also, if you look at the banner, it's on the banner.
It's on
It's
the
on,
banner.
the banner. It's on the banner. So
That's
you
the
guys
best
will have to
advice,
go
though.
check it out.
That's the best
James, it
advice.
was nice meeting you, man. Thanks for joining
Yeah, man.
us.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for coming on, guys. It's been
Yeah,
awesome. I enjoy
total
listening
blast.
to finding new music and stuff like that, and kind of and yeah, jamming out. Like it's
you
awesome.
guys are on the front lines, man. That's cool. You you've got a good thing going on, and we're really stoked to be a part of it. So thank you.
We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. And anybody who is out there still remaining, hanging out with us, we totally appreciate it. This is why we do it. You know, we do it because we enjoy doing it ourselves, but we enjoy doing it for the audience that does come in and visit. And anybody in future tense, that's the cool thing about YouTube, is this is forever and ever. And I pick up about 30 to 40 views throughout the week. And as we get bigger and bigger, it's just going to keep growing. And I keep seeing like past videos keep growing. So everybody will be seeing you guys for the next 100 years. So, you know, just say hello. Your grandkids will be seeing this as remember when Grandpa was on that first show before he was famous?
Yep. Right.
Before he was really famous, and they were like on this show.
Same ice cream.
They bought some ice cream, and yeah, he didn't buy that for us though. We were like, "What is that? What is that ice cream machine thing? What is that ice cream thing that they have? They used to have like trucks roll around neighborhoods selling ice cream to kids. What was that?"
Ding, 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 ding. It was $5 for two cones, by the way.
Oh my God!
Holy moly, that's awesome! That is.
I got one for me and one for my daughter, and it was $5.
There you go. And she's a happy kid, and you're a happy person. So, and you had a dessert. You had a
there's
better
ice
dessert
cream
than the banana.
She's
there's
never
ice cream
been.
truck that rolls around here. It plays that same original ice cream truck music, but it actually has like a little bass to it. So it's like,
Ooh, so it can fade away.
I was walking
That's
my dog.
not an ice cream truck. You roll up with some bass.
I was walking my dog one time, and I'm like, "Geez, like trying to sell some ice cream."
I don't think that was the right ice cream truck, James. I think they were
So ice cream trucks in Phoenix. I had a friend that just bought his pot from the ice cream guy. That's where he used to get his pot from. That's exactly where he got it from.
He just comes around. I get ice cream for the 20 bag for me.
Yeah, the special. Can I get the special?
I have a number 420. I have a number 420 on the
exactly. I kid you not. That was a story he told me. Yeah, I bought drugs off the ice cream man. That's what I was like. Later in life, I drugs off the ice cream man. So I was like, that's
kind of like a personal low, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, well, he admitted it. Like the first thing you'd say is, I don't know where I got these drugs from. Not from the ice cream man. The pot just happens. The pot just happens. I don't know how it got here. But
they're like in the push pops.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's in the. So anyway, we're gonna see you guys later. I don't know anything about that stuff. You know, I'm just out.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We're going to be releasing a lot of stuff, and so just stay tuned and follow us and check our stuff out. We got a good thing here.
Yeah, and honestly, this is an amazing, really good new, with a lot of really great influences. The music is really spot on, and I really enjoy listening to it. I expect to see. I'm hoping to, you know, in another 30, 40 episodes, we'll have you back on. And see where you guys have come. We'll be like, where did they go? And then we'll be like, they're just taking off, and they've hit the radios and Spotify's, and definitely follow them on Spotify, because you guys get the 0.007 cents. It does. Spotify. Go follow these guys on Spotify. It actually helps promote artists and actually gives them a little bit of money. So for views. So highly suggest doing that for these folks. And everybody have a great day, and rock on, guys.
You do the same.
Thanks, Tasty Licks.
Guys.
Cheers.
It was a pleasure.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Bye.